Newcomers to astrology flock to planetary yogas like no other factor in astrology, and understandably so. They help us to pick out some simple things in a horoscope at a quick glance. But the problem is people also get disheartened by planetary yogas more so than any other factor, mainly because they don't know how to properly qualify those yogas in order to determine whether the yoga is going to yield its fruits to a high standard or give us just an eensy-beensy little bit. So starting on the 10th of March from 6:30 to 8 p.m. London time, I'm going to be hosting a 44-week webinar event running on consecutive Sundays on how to make planetary yogas work. This will involve some mathematical calculations, which I will teach you, as well as learning many of the best planetary yogas to work with in order to do excellent horoscope interpretation. You can register for this course either by trimester or in payment in full at the link that you're going to see somewhere around the middle of this video. So thank you, and I hope you'll join us. Bye now. So I invited you on here tonight because I just want to tell you how horrible my life is and how terrible things are and how things are just really getting beyond the point of being able to bear it. And I really just want to complain, right? But I don't want to do anything about it. I just want to complain, and I want you to listen to me complain and just, feel sorry for me that I'm complaining, that my life is really horrible. You don't want to do that, do you? Right? I mean, who wants to listen to somebody complain endlessly and go on about how horrible things are, but then not really do anything to create a change about that set of conditions that they are seemingly having such a hard time with? Now, somewhere in your life, you may be finding yourself in a situation where you're frustrated at the fact that you want something to change, but equally you recognize that if you really want that thing to change, it's going to require a greater level of your motivation and commitment, right? And the moment you begin to consider putting in that extra time and putting in that extra effort is the moment that you begin to feel like, man, this is really stressing me out, right? And I thought, maybe if I did this, things would immediately change, but gee, they sure do seem to be taking a long time to change, so maybe I'm better off just sticking with the way things have been, right? Sure, that was difficult as well. Maybe difficult isn't even the right word. Maybe painful is a much better word. But at least that's a pain I was familiar with and something that I was accustomed to, whereas this is a pain that I don't really know what it's all about. And let's face it, that's a real pain in the you-know-what. And so maybe it's better the devil that I know than the devil that I don't know. And sure, one part of you feels like as you're trying to create these changes, it would really be nice if somebody would help you out to create those changes, because you're feeling exhausted. You're feeling like you're putting a lot in and you feel like you're not getting anything out, and you're feeling undernourished, and that's just making you feel even angrier and making you feel like you're not going to be supported. But hey, you know what? Stop whining. Okay? Because it's your decision. It's your commitment. It's your cause that you have decided to champion. So the feelings of loyalty that you had to a particular situation is what's caused you to decide to raise the ante in the first place. So you have to be willing to do the work that's required to create the change. Only you don't really feel like you are. After all, a lot's going in, as I said, and little is coming out. But the important thing to remember, there's that age-old saying that Rome was not built in a day. Well, motivation builds with time. Sometimes you have to push a stone uphill for a really long period of time before you get to a point where you reach that peak, and then the next thing you know, things start rolling, right? The fact of the matter is, you've been so lost in the complaining about the set of circumstances that you're dealing with that you haven't been able to see the changes that are happening all around you. Boop, wake up. Take a look. Things are transforming of their own accord. But that doesn't mean that you can just sit back and rest on your laurels. It merely means that you need to be less of a fusspot and much more of someone who is being enthused by the progress that they've been ignoring and being willing to add a little extra emphasis based upon that enthusiasm to get things rolling. Now, this particular transit of Mars through Bharani nakshatra is likely going to start with some feelings of frustration from probably about the 23rd of February, which is when the transit begins, until the 1st of March. That's when you can likely, bet on feeling a larger degree of frustration. After that, things are going to build in terms of the momentum. You'll begin to feel a little more enthused, a little more as if the time and effort that you put towards something is actually turning out to be worth it. But things that are going to help you along the way with this are to pay attention. Pay attention. Don't get so lost in the frustration. Don't get so lost in the freaking out about the stress that you're having to deal with in order to create the change that you just kind of give up and decide that you'd rather deal with a situation that's completely unbearable. That feeling of the situation being unbearable is what got you motivated in the first place, so don't forget that. Be willing to put in the initial effort. Things will gradually build. If you could use a little bit of help with whatever this process may relate to for you, because hey, it's going to affect each of us in different areas of our life dependent upon where Mars is transiting, plus many other different factors that go into the composition of this video, right? So if you're interested in learning how to work best with the energies that are involved, please do feel free to schedule an astrological consultation with me. Those are available through the astrological services page of my website, which is linked above. That's going to do it for this look at Mars's transit through Bharani nakshatra, which starts on the 23rd of February all the way through to the 15th of March 2019. Until next time, please do take the very best care of yourself. Bye now.